And China-EU economic and trade relations are now facing new opportunities, already mentioned. EU has remained China's largest trading partner, just the professor mentioned, while China, the second largest trading partner of the EU. European capital, technology, and management expertise have given a boost to China's industrializations. The vast Chinese market has generated huge profits for EU companies in China. This is the basis for EU and China to cooperate further. And Chinese investment in the EU has created a large number, maybe not that much, but large number of jobs and tax revenues. But, however, in terms of investment, currently the EU investment in China only accounts for 4% of the EU's total overseas investment, still very small. Chinese investment only takes up only 2% of the FDI received by the EU. So at the both sides, you can see the quantity is still very small. So there's huge potential to be tapped if we cooperate very properly. So the BIT, the bilateral investment treaty, is a priority. But at the very beginning, China put the US-China BIT on the top one. But now I think they have to, or they will to change mind. They will put the EU-China BIT at the top list. So in order to make breakthroughs, it's crucial for both parties now to show flexibility and act in good faith. But just the professor mentioned, China still have that problem, Chinese character, social market, and stand-older company, and on. So I will try to give you a very brief background of EU-China BIT negotiation. Actually, this is beginning on November 21st, 2013. At that time, both sides agreed to launch negotiations on a new bilateral investment treaty. So from then up to now, they already have 17 rounds of negotiating. Actually, this week is the last round, just held in Beijing. So this new BIT is expected to replace the existing BIT between China and 26 of the current 28 EU member states. So if successful, it will be a BIT, I believe, between the world's largest developed economy and the world's largest developing economy. So both China and EU members used to follow the traditional European approach towards BIT, focusing on investment protection in the past. But now, this approach seems to have changed largely on both sides in recent years. For example, the EU has been now very keen to promote investment market access as well as investment protection. China also seems to have accepted concrete market access obligation in BITs. For example, China has announced the acceptance of a so-called pre-establishment national treatments obligation, plus the negative list approach in the BIT negotiation. Actually, it's beginning with the United States. So now negative list become a popular concept in China's current reform. So rapid growth of the Chinese economy and the Chinese government policy of encourages domestic enterprise to go global have resulted in the accelerated expansion of overseas investment by Chinese companies. However, due to the lack of legal regulations provided by updated international investment agreements, China enterprise often encounter various barriers in their global activities. Now, both sides complain. Maybe EU, US complain in China. They have met a lot of barriers. But Chinese company also complain for these kind of things like national security, unpracticable national security survey, these kind of things. Second, I'll just try to tell you something, the key area now China-EU bilateral talks focus on, because now it's under negotiation, so this is still a closed door negotiation. So the first thing is the negotiation on the definition of investment, whether the term investment should be including like claims to money, loans, and debt securities. They still have some different ideas about that. They try to put on the list what kind of things were under the concept of investment. The second is a very important principle is unfair and equitable treatment. The foreign investment should enjoy this kind of treatment, but now they will discuss what's the real meaning for that. So they will use the term the minimum standard of treatment in according with customary international law. But what is the customary international law? Is the argument for that. The third one is expropriation. Both parties discuss the condition of law expropriations. So in what kind of extreme situation may a government can use these terms, and what's the modality of compensation for that? The problem one is how to definition indirect expropriation. If you force the foreign investors moved here or there for the environmental or other causes, it could be indirect expropriation. They already have a case between China and a German company already raised a arbitration. It's the investor and state arbitration in China. It's a very new one. The other issue, like stand-owned enterprises, that's have huge different idea about that. So, and right now, EU just say what we consider about, what we care about. We cannot reach agreement on this. Last one I will mention is about dispute settlement. So EU have a new concept called investment court system. So they tried to establish a appeal mechanism or other way or permanent compensation of panels. This is actually at the very beginning, EU and US tried to negotiation for the TTIP. They gave this concept of a permanent investment court. And EU put this into practice. When they reached a FTA with Vietnam, they put this permanent investor distributed solution on the FTA. So they now persuade China to accept this idea. So we still consider about whether we can do it or not. So recently, both EU and China have tried to get some reform on the ISDS. That's the investor-state dispute settlement. So finally, conclusion. And now, all over the world, there are about over 3,320 international investment agreement or BITs. China has reached 104. What EU has reached more than 1,200, the older BITs. Now you try to replace all these ones, they get a big new one. So I believe if the investment negotiation between EU and China successfully, that will contribute to achieve a global consensus regarding investor policy. So the issue is when we make a deal. Just yesterday we heard news about Premier Li Keqiang talked to visiting German Chancellor, said China hoped to set up negotiation on the BIT with the EU. So you expect very soon. When, I don't know, but I know my time is used over. Thank you.
Thank you very much.